All right, being a little after 7, and I apologize for the delay, but we had some interviews to do, and it took us a little bit longer than we expected. So if you all rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, I'd appreciate it, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we're all under a mandate by the governor, and so everyone needs to be wearing a mask.
Stuck here. Sorry.
No, I can't get it.
What's up?
Maybe I need to go lower.
Did not fit.
I don't know.
You okay?
I can't get in here. Jeez. All right. Okay, first item on the agenda is public comments. So this would be a time that you would come forth, make a public comment, preferably something that's not on the agenda. When it comes up, we could always discuss at that time. But I do have one person that did sign the roster. If there's others that want to come up and speak, they don't need to be on this signature form, but we'll start with Pam Conley. If you just, Pam Conley, Coos Bay, is that correct?
Right.
Thank you.
Hey.
And just if you could speak in the mic so everyone can hear us, especially with the mask, it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thanks. First, want to say I appreciate getting a chance to speak because this morning in Coquille I didn't. So August 31st is International Overdose Awareness Day. Oregon currently has the 4th highest addiction rate in the nation, yet we rank 47th in access to treatment. And alcohol alone kills 6 people each day, and we lose another 1 to 2 to overdose each day. We all know or love someone suffering from substance use disorder, yet this illness is stigmatized to the point people won't ask for help. And when they do, there is very little help available. One purpose of the International Overdose Awareness Day is to help stop the stigma, bring about conversations, and let people and families know they're not alone in this epidemic. You may be aware of a local citizens group called Overdose Aware. Before COVID, we were meeting regularly and we were actively holding events to bring about awareness as well as sharing harm reduction strategies. Because of our interest, we now have harm reduction services every Tuesday through HIV Alliance at the Harmony United Methodist Church. And I have a flyer about that if anybody's interested in learning a little bit more. We also pushed for the needle drop boxes at each fire station in the area. And there's a lot of naloxone or Narcan, which is an opioid overdose reversal drug, in our community because of this grassroots group. And that's including in each police car and fire engine. We have a few outreach groups as well that go to people we feel may need Narcan in the areas they congregate. In fact, I'm able to train and distribute Narcan, so let me know if you're interested. A support group has started in our area for parents and loved ones, or with loved ones and a family member suffering from SUD, which is substance use disorder, called PAL. Parents of Addicted Loved Ones is what it stands for. We meet the first and third Thursday each month at Cafe 101, and I have some flyers for that group as well as handouts. And so Overdose Aware had hoped to create a few activities for this year's Awareness Day, but COVID. And so at this point, we'll focus on media and social media awareness and sharing our next meeting date in hopes of gaining more members to our local group. Next year, we hope to gather on the Coos Bay downtown boardwalk with signs to bring awareness and then walk together to Mingus Park where we'll have speakers and a program, which was kind of our idea this year, but so I guess my purpose tonight is to make you aware that August 31st is International Overdose Awareness Day, and ask you to help spread the information that we share over the next 2 weeks. Also, to let you know, our next Overdose Aware meeting will be held at Cafe 101 on Tuesday, August 24th from 11:30 to 12:30, and we will also have a Zoom meeting for those that prefer. More information and a Zoom link will be shared on our Facebook group called Overdose Aware. And that's pretty much it tonight. I just want to say thank you for your time. Together, we can stop the stigma and save lives. Like I said, we all know someone, and we can't help the people we care about if they're dead.
Pam, how would they get a hold of you about the Narcan?
Either talk to me now, or Stephanie, would you be willing to share my information with people?
Yes.
Can you share some of the flyers with us?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was going
I
to
have-
ask if you
I have
could leave
stacks.
some on the table so that we can.
Sure. There's 3 different kinds. One of them is about, this one is a flyer about the POW group that's made to put in businesses if anybody's interested in doing that. And then this is the flyers about the services by HIV Alliance, and then these are just individual.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pam. And thank you for all the work you do on this. Appreciate it. Okay, the next thing on the agenda this evening is the consent calendar. Council, how would you like to proceed?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent calendar as submitted. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, it passes. Next item is presentation of the Coos Bay Downtown Association semi-annual report. Holly, how are you this evening?
Great.
You have nothing but good news for us, right?
Always.
Okay.
I'm always the bearer of good news. Alrighty, so my name is Holly Boardman, and I'm the Executive Director of the Coos Bay Downtown Association. And I'm here tonight to give our semi-annual presentation. Next. The vision of the Coos Bay Downtown Association is to advocate for and support local businesses to thrive by being a vibrant downtown that promotes healthy living and provides opportunities for our community and guests to shop, eat, mingle, and explore. Next. The mission of the Coos Bay Downtown Association is to foster the development of downtown Coos Bay by strengthening local businesses, encouraging new businesses, and connecting the community through partnerships. The Coos Bay Downtown Association is committed to promoting Coos Bay as an attractive place to live, work, and visit by continually enhancing the quality of life of the downtown area. Next. So how we do what we do. The Coos Bay Downtown Association is part of the National Main Street Program and also the Oregon Main Street Program, which leverages community assets to generate investment, create jobs, and foster the rehabilitation of the downtown areas and main streets. As part of this program, the Cbda is supported by a board of directors, a Main Street manager, and 4 committees: promotions, organization, design, and economic vitality. The Cbda works closely with its members, downtown businesses, and local organizations to strengthen existing businesses, to expand opportunities for new businesses, and to plan events and activities that improve the quality of life in downtown Coos Bay. Some of our strategic goals are to expand our membership. We're hoping to go to up to 150 members, which is a lot, but it's something that we're wanting to do, and we do think we can achieve. We also want to embrace technology. We are going to have a new website that's more user-friendly for a platform for both the visitors and the members. Our current website is 12 years old, so obviously that's a very old website. Our new website is going to have an app, and it's also going to connect to more local area resources as well. So we're very excited about that. We want to increase activities, so we're going to continue with the annual events that we have, but we also want to have some new creative ideas flowing around and start some new events and new promotions that attract consumer traffic of local and tourists alike. So we also want to extend our footprint. Some of you may know, you may have heard us say the 5x5. So there was a 5x5 downtown Coos Bay for our Main Street and our Oregon Main Street. Now we've expanded to the Front Street District and also to Coos Bay Village. So we're really excited about that and what we can bring in partnerships with all 3 of those new locations. And we also want to enhance beauty in downtown Coos Bay. We want to add to the visual aesthetics of the downtown with art and function. And we also want to tie it back into our history as well. So every project that we start, we try and combine those 3 things together. Next. Our first half of the year accomplishments. Next. We had our farmers market, which is in its 21st season, start on time. So the first Wednesday in May, we opened up our market, which was great because in 2020 we were closed for a whole month. So we'll go from the first Wednesday in May to the last Wednesday in October. We had returning market manager Melissa Hassert. And now the farmer's market can be open because it's an essential service like a grocery store. And so we were open with masks and social distancing at the start of the season. This year, we also have the Snap Match and the Double Ups Food Buck program. If you're not familiar with that, if you take $10 off your food stamp card, you can get a $10 match in the Double Up Food Bucks. And the Double Up Food Bucks are free fruits and vegetables. So it's a really great program for not only the community members, but it also benefits the farmers as well. So to give you an idea of how many people use this program, so far we've given out $10,243 just in SNAP, and that's just this season. And then the Double Up Food Bucks that we've distributed is $4,208. And our average vendor attendance now is about 65 per week. Just to give you an example, when we started this season, when we had to have 10 feet of booth space between each booth, we only had 45 vendors. And then when we didn't have to have that booth space between, we have about 65. So we're really excited about that. And this year we had many sponsors that have helped us get through the market. We had Junior Alvarado Trucking, Jenny Shoes, Laney Farms, Harmony Home Care, Bigfoot Beverages, South Coast Family Dentistry, the Coos Head Food Co-op, the Oregon Health Insurance Marketplace, and So It Goes Coffee House. And we couldn't do it without the help from the city. The city comes and cleans the street the day before the market. They turn our power on and off, and then they come at the end of the market and they help out with the garbage, which we really appreciate. So if you haven't been to the Coos Bay Farmers Market, I invite you to come. It's a really great event. And then we finally had the installation of our Running Legs bike rack. So a big thank you to Marshfield High School, who their welding class manufactured the racks, the city of Coos Bay, who installed them, and a big thanks to the 3 different grants that we had that went towards the completion of the bike racks. Next. And then we have our committees. Our first committee is organization, and we are working on a new membership drive. We currently have 75 members, which for COVID-19 and what we're going through right now compared to the state, that's actually a really high, a really good number. But you heard me talk about earlier during our strategic plan that we want to get up to 150. So you can see that's a pretty high goal. And so we are working on ways to get that membership up. I briefly talked about it as well. We are working on a new website with KDOC, and we received a full sponsorship of the website from Banner Bank in the amount of $3,200. So we are so grateful for that sponsorship. It's such a much needed thing that we need to have. So we're just very grateful for that. I also applied for and received the Cook Hill Tribal and Community Funds grant for our hand washing stations at the farmers market in the amount of $3,640. Back in 2019 and pre-COVID, we never even had a single hand washing station. I know it seems crazy, but we didn't have hand washing stations. Then in 2020, when COVID came, they said you must have hand washing stations or you can't run the farmers market. Well, now at our farmers market, for those 2.5 blocks, we have 6 hand washing stations. So without this grant, we wouldn't be able to have the farmers market with the hand washing stations. So again, we're really grateful for this grant. We also applied for and received the Coos Bay North Bend Visitor and Convention Bureau funding grants for our 2 festivals in the amount of $6,000, $3,000 for the Blackberry Arts Festival and $3,000 for the Bay Area Fun Festival. And as you may know, when the events were canceled in 2020, some of the events were able to come back in 2021, but the insurance had doubled. So a lot of this money is going towards the increased cost of insurance. So again, something that we're super grateful for. And then we worked with Banner Bank to create the dues relief program in the amount of $2,500. So it's a match for the bronze and silver level memberships, and it pays half their dues. So for example, if you wanted to join at the bronze membership, which is $100, you would pay $50, and the Banner Bank dues relief program would pay $50. So we've had 14 businesses have taken advantage of this first come, first serve program, and 4 more in the process. So for having a total of 75 members and 14 of them using this program, you can see how valuable this program has been. Next. And then we have the promotions. We put on great events year round. So far we've held the COVID-19 Safe Farmers Market. In the first half of the year, we're preparing for all of the events in the second half of the year, such as Trick or Treat, holiday open houses, Shop Small Saturday, and Santa Comes to Town, to name a few. Right now, the Blackberry Arts Festival is scheduled in just a few weeks away. However, the board of directors is watching the status of what is happening with the state and local COVID numbers and will make the best decision in the interest of what is best for the health and safety of the community and our volunteers and our vendors. And the same goes with the Bay Area Fun Festival. We will be meeting and deciding how we are going to move forward and if we can move forward with these events. Next. Design. So design purchases and replaces and designs our banners, and we also rotate them out all throughout the season. We also are responsible for the beautiful flower baskets that arrive downtown in May. The bike rack project, like we talked about briefly, has been completed. The Cbda purchased the design from an artist in Tennessee, and we received 3 grants, $5,000 from the Ford Family Foundation, $2,500 from Jordan Cove, and $2,000 from the Coos Rotary Foundation. Marshfield High School manufactured the bike racks, and thank you to the city for installing them. Next. In economic vitality, we are working on implementing the Travel Oregon and RDI Economic Vitality Plan for downtown Coos Bay that was completed last year from the Travel Oregon grant. And we are also working on implementing the Cbda strategic plan. Next. So some of our future projects, we're always looking for ways to bring people downtown and to revitalize downtown. So we're re-energizing reasons to shop, eat, mingle, and explore downtown. That's a priority. We want new events that bring people downtown along with enhancing the current events, and that is key on the forefront. We are also going to be starting an electric box art project that has been identified, and we're moving forward with that. And we're looking forward to seeing a splash of color downtown with these painted electric boxes. And like I talked about, we're increasing our footprint and embracing the new direction of the building improvements and new businesses. It's high on our list. We're going to be adding wayfinding signs to keep the public informed of what is just an easy walk around the corner and will benefit the old and the new. Next. So here's our Cbda Board of Directors. We have Katie Granado with South Coast Family Dentistry. We have Doug Woolsey. We have someone you may know, Stephanie Kilmer with KDOC Radio, who's also our city liaison. We have Jill Rasmussen with Jackson Osborne Farmers Insurance Agency. We have Steve Schneiderman with Marshfield Mercantile. We have Jay Andrews with Bigfoot Beverages. Dana Weber with Banner Bank. Nikki Simmons with the Bay Area Dental Lab. Julie Graham with Bicosta Media. And Beth Clarkson with Checkerberry's Flowers and Gifts. Next. The Coos Bay Downtown Association would not be where we are today without the support and partnership of this city. Great minds all moving forward towards a better tomorrow. Thank you.
Thanks, Holly.
Thank you.
Thank you for the good job you did and have done during the difficult times that we have had and we're continuing to face. So thank you. So.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the update.
Yeah, so much. All right. I have a couple things to deal with here. So Tristan, are you in the audience? Yeah. I'm glad. Can we come up, please? So we have, where is it? The mayor's,
They're working on it.
okay, they're working on it. It's a plaque that I started in 2002, but I can't take credit for it. My wife, Tricia at the time, stated that we should do something like this. I took her suggestion, rightfully so, and it's been something that's been carrying on since 2002. We've had 10 recipients that have done special things we feel for the city, and we want to honor them and recognize them. And so I would like to personally recognize you for the efforts you've done at the skate park. It's been an ongoing love, I would have to say, and time commitment that you've made with a group of volunteers. I understand that over 500 volunteer hours were invested in this rehab of the skate park. More than half of those hours you personally have put interest in. And counting. and I oversaw the project and the volunteers, besides just putting the hours in yourself. I want to personally thank you. You know, this type of participation by our volunteers and our citizens is really something special. And we always want to recognize it when we have the opportunity to do so. And so we're going to take this opportunity to do that. We have a plaque that basically says, it's the Mayor's Appreciation Award presented to Tristan Reeser in appreciation for your demonstrated leadership and supervision in the renovation of the Coos Bay Skate Park, August 2021. Thank you so much for everything you've done on that and continue to do, and thank you so much. Mike, stand up. you so much.
Thank you.
I also started the UK State Park Association, and we'll see more.
Very good, thank you. We appreciate, and you know, it's a great project. It's a great thing for the kids and everyone else, and so I'm glad that someone's keeping it up. I remember when it was built. Sometimes I'm dating myself here, but it was something that was needed and wanted, and you're carrying it on, so thank you.
I was part of the crew that built it, and I was a volunteer when we ran out of money, and
So we've been doing this for a while. You and I, right?
it took many more hours than that.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
I appreciate the recognition.
You're right. You might. My pleasure.
Thank you all.
So the other one, Phil, unfortunately, I'm going to ask you to come up. I hate to see we having to say goodbye to you, and this is going to be your last meeting. But all good things, I guess, must come to an end, unfortunately. So anyway, Phil, you know, I can't thank you enough, and I know the rest of the council will chime in and staff, but someone else will be sitting in your chair, but no one can replace you. And the outstanding service you have given, it has been an honor and a pleasure serving with you. Thank you, Phil. You will be missed. And just to give you a little bit of background, so Phil served as city councilor from 2016 to 2018, council president from 2018 to 2021. As a city council representative on various boards during his term of office. Furthermore, he served on the budget committee from 2010 to 2016 and the planning commission from 1996 to 1999. So you have made Coos Bay a better place because of what you've done. So your plaque says, and your voice can come back. For nearly 15 years of service as council president from 2018 to 2021, city councilor from 2016 to 2018, streets task force, which wasn't on my list, 2013, budget committee from 2010 to 2016, and planning commission from 1996 to 1999, represented by the city of Coos Bay, August 2021. Thank you for all your service.
I've been thinking for several days of what I might say, and I can't find the words. What a fantastic group of people. This city is so blessed to have the staff and the council and all the other committees. This city is blessed. And I can't find the words. It's been an honor to serve. And I was reflecting today as I was out and about, and I was thinking, I can't think of a single person on this council that is on this council because of any agenda or personal reason. This entire council loves this city and wants to do what's best for this city. And that's a real refreshing thing to think about. You know, a lot of times people get involved in committees and councils and politics because they have either an axe to grind or some agenda that they want to push. And I don't feel that. I feel this group really wants to just do what's best for this city. And sometimes we agree or disagree. I'm glad that's not very often. But we always keep in mind that we're just looking for what's best for the city. And I have really enjoyed that. So thank you all. Thank you for the people that come and support us, and even the people that criticize us. You know, at least they're respectful, and we listen to their concerns, and if we can do something about it, we try. So it's been a pleasure. It's been a real honor, and who knows, you may see me pop in here one Tuesday evening and heckle you from the cheap seats. Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is consideration of a city councilor appointment to fill the unexpired terms. The council has decided to go ahead and vote this evening on this position. For those that might not know, Phil this is his last meeting, and we took applications to fill this position, and we got 4 applicants, and we interviewed them earlier. That's why we ran a little bit long. And so tonight is the night that we will be choosing that person. So if you would fill out the ballot in front of you and hand it down to Nicole.
From the, one of the managers from the area, on the property in Coos, I noticed the power, water.
So let us go ahead and take care of this action, sir, and then I'll call on you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Sorry about that. So Nicole will tally those, and then this person will be appointed or sworn in, I guess, at the next council meeting. We do have a work session the next Tuesday. They're more than willing to participate, whoever's elected or chosen, and then they will, we don't take any action on the work session, so anyone's able to participate in that. The person that was chosen out of the 4 was Sarah Stevens. So Sarah, congratulations. I want to thank all the others for applying and participating in our process, and thank you for your volunteerism that you do in the community also. So Sarah, thank you, and we'll hopefully Roger will be in contact with you. All right? Okay, so we have a public comment from an individual. Sir, if you just want to come forth, give us your name and where you reside, the city, and speak
Okay.
into the mic, please.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Manoj Uliaye, owner of the property in 1432 New York Avenue, Coos Bay. I never did pay attention about the water bill for past maybe a couple of years because it's auto pay, always. Now I noticed the city of water company charged me $1,800 a year extra.
800.
I'm
For
talking,
what?
What is that for? You say city asking $150 a month. That's why they collect the money and give it to the city. I said, what for? I said, I don't know. Talk to the city council, I'm here.
Oh, the water,
And,
or the transportation fee.
Well, it's not, we don't charge $800.
He's saying in the year,
Pardon?
$150 a month.
$50 a month extra
$150 a month,
is what your total bill is.
which is $1,800 a year.
I got you. But that doesn't pay, that's not all city, related to any city services. That's paying for water and sewer.
No,
And
that's different in here. You can look at it, I'd like to give it to you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I believe he's talking about the transportation user fee, and in his location, he has 15 housing units there, and
Okay.
so at the $10
Oh,
each unit
okay.
Yeah.
results in the 150 per
So
month.
you have 10, you have a facility that has 10 apartments or 10 facilities, correct?
Correct.
All right, so what we do is it's a tough fee, transportation utility fee. And that's to help pay for our roads and our maintenance of our roads. And that is something that we enacted 2 years ago?
Correct.
2 years ago. And we had multiple hearings on that, and this is what the council decided. In fact, we got very strong support from the community to go ahead and enact this. That allows us to spend $1 million a year in repairing potholes, streets that are necessary for the operation and services of this city. And that's what we've done. And that's what that fee is for.
Most of the tenants are in low fixed income that don't have even car. Of the 15 unit, with 7 units that have a car. The rest are in wheelchair.
But those units also receive garbage service, fire service, utility service that use the roads. All these entities benefit from services that have to use the roads.
I pay for the garbages and utility,
Sir, it is a benefit to all, and it improves your property value, it improves the life and the service of the area, and it helps all and everyone.
In this case, you know.
Well, it's
I'm
been
losing.
something that we've been doing for 2 years, and we took lots of public comment. We didn't take this lightly. It's something that we really took to heart, and we decided this was one of the best ways to fix our roads and take care of our roads and our streets. And that's where you see 4th Street just got done, Golden just got done. We have a list of potholes that we are fixing yearly. We have streets that we're fixing, and that all happens because of fees that we're able to collect from TUF and some other things. But this is one of the major ones that helps us accomplish that. And I've heard nothing but compliments because of it from many, many citizens.
And those are dedicated only to roads.
Yeah.
The water board is the delivery system for the charge. It's not a water board fee. It's a fee that we use to fix roads. And it is only dedicated to that.
I hope that answers your question. I hope that you understand, and I don't know if you'll support it or not. I hope you do, because it's something that I believe is a benefit to you and your property and your tenants. And in the long run,
The
it
question,
will
they
be.
have no visitor, they are just a small unit, you know, barely one person or two, no visitor, no car coming in there, they don't have any vehicle, most of them, at least 50% they have no vehicle, most of them they're in wheelchair, low fixed income.
Well, you have garbage service, don't you?
I got the garbage, I pay $500 for almost $450 a month.
But you have garbage service those trucks use, the roads, sir. And you also have, I'm sure at times that you have a fire service come out there, whether it's a paramedic or the fire trucks. Have they never been there?
They've been there, yeah.
Sure. And so
Fine.
those are able to utilize those roads to service your tenants and yourself and your buildings and keep them safe.
Okay,
So,
all right.
all right. Well,
Well,
thank
thank
you
you,
so
sir.
much. Appreciate your coming. All right.
Taxi cabs,
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
all kinds of things.
Okay, so the next item is consideration, a revision of the Department of Land Conservation and Development grant funding application related to housing needs assessment. And I think Carolyn is on the screen. There she is.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. It's nice to see all of you. The council has an opportunity to take a look at a modification of the grant that was submitted to modify our housing needs assessment that was done last year. The DLCD has notified us that we could revise that application to address something else that we may want to do related to new development. The council had a goal to explore the urban growth boundary and its relationship to possible annexation opportunities. And what is suggested is that you consider supporting a modification to the application you saw earlier this year so that that work could get started on this goal. The approval of that grant would enable us to hire a firm like LCOG, as we have in the past, to assist us in long-range planning evaluation, to identify what criteria and expectations we may have down the road to expand our urban growth boundary in any annexed areas. There would need to be some work done to our comprehensive plan and development code, all of which would follow along the lines of your goal that you set earlier this year. There were some issues with that DLCD had expressed about the grant application as it had been submitted, but fortunately they were willing to go ahead and allow us, if we want to move forward with a modification of that application. Attached to your staff report is a letter of support from the mayor in this regard, and I'm here to answer any questions that you may have.
Just to clarify for my purposes, somebody from DLCD called me separately something to do with the Timber Cove development. This does not pertain to that, right?
Well, that's correct. It does not. What this would do would enable the council to move in a different direction on their application to DLCD and take advantage of the opportunity that the state is offering now with a great deal of money that's been allocated by the legislature related to housing and economic development.
But indirectly, didn't that point us in a different direction, go for a different grant though, Carolyn?
Well, yes and no. They've advised me that we could make a switch with just a simple letter. They also indicated that it was very unusual for their agency to authorize funding for an H&A amendment in just a short amount of time after they'd already funded authorization and a grant had been awarded. As you may recall, they provided us with a grant for an update of our housing needs assessment in, I think, 2019. And that was then used, once it was completed, to do all of our comprehensive plan work. So with that, they would like to see us move in a little different direction. I don't think that the application as submitted would be funded because of a new direction that the Timber Cove project is taking.
And urban growth boundary expansion is one of our goals and something that we've talked about. So I think it's more than appropriate, and hopefully we can get this grant. So council, other comments for Carolyn or on this subject at all? So are we, do we need a motion on this, Roger, or we can just?
I think it would be prudent to go ahead and take a motion and have a vote.
Okay, so would someone like to make a motion accepting this?
I move we authorize modification of a grant application and issuance of a letter for explanation of an alternative project.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to ask for, to approve the revision for the Department of Land Conservation and Development grant application and the letter that's attached. Any other comments? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, it passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn, appreciate it.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Certainly.
Let me get my, okay, so we are going to have consideration, have a public hearing and consideration and adoption of a supplemental budget. So Nicole, you want to give us a little explanation before we open a public hearing, please?
Yes, I would love to. Thank you. As you know, in the past, we've had several occasions in which we need to do a supplemental budget, which gives us opportunity to revise the original budget as approved by this group earlier in the spring. Often those are because we received unexpected revenues, generally grants, and that's the case here tonight. We have a grant we received from the Oregon Community Foundation, $25,000 for support of our municipal operations, and also a kind of loan and grant arrangement from Business Oregon to replace some of the tide gates within our water quality system. And then additionally, we already had approved in years past the Community Development Block Grant, which is providing us some funds within Coos Bay, Reedsport, and Coos County to do some housing rehabilitation projects. That's taken a little bit longer to go, so we have it coming into this year. We didn't put it in the budget originally, and so we need to kind of add that now, so we have the ability to spend those funds once they come in. We're expecting that anytime. So that's what's before us. We're making those revisions due to those three essentially grants that we'll be receiving.
Okay.
Awesome.
Councilors have any questions before the public hearing? Okay, at this time, I'm going to open a public hearing. So anyone who would like to come forth and make a comment about these items that was just stated by Nicole, our finance director, or I can be glad to reiterate them if necessary. Anyone? Any public comments? Okay, I'll close the public hearing. And council, how would you like to move forward on the resolution?
I'll move that we adopt Resolution 21-22, authorizing a supplemental budget appropriating additional funds for the fiscal year of 2021 to 2022.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt Resolution 21-22. Is there any discussions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, it passes. Okay, number 10 is consideration to extend marijuana business license moratorium. So, Carolyn, you going to be handling this?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Back in March of this year, the council had extended a moratorium on new business licenses for marijuana businesses to September 1st, 2021. And the council had directed that the Planning Commission take a look and provide recommendations regarding the indoor marijuana-related business sections of the code that the council had looked at. Because of the notification requirements to DLCD that they need to be notified 35 days ahead of the first public hearing, we are in a spot that we're going to have to ask you to hold off on reviewing this because the notice wasn't provided to DLCD in time. However, the Planning Commission did meet on August 10th, and they reviewed the regulations regarding marijuana, and there were 4 of the 7 commissioners present. It was not a full commission, so what I asked them to do was develop a consensus opinion and recommendations rather than take a full-on recommendation vote. One of the commissioners was not comfortable with removing the language and wanted to talk about it further, but 3 of the others, there was concurrence that the 1,000-foot requirements for both between businesses and residential areas, there was consensus that that should be stricken, and that's what they would like to see the council do. They also unanimously, all 4 of them, recommended that a definition of marijuana be added to the development code, and they suggested simply using the state definition, which is fine. They also were okay with the 2 other definitions that we had included in the staff report related to marijuana retail businesses and a second definition. So I don't have Planning Commission meeting minutes, a draft of those that I was able to provide, but by the time this gets back to you in October, I will have those minutes, and I can get the draft of those to you beforehand. So you're at a place where you can either extend the moratorium on the business licenses for marijuana businesses until November 5th, because if you do modify the code, it would take a month to go into effect. Or you could go ahead and allow the moratorium to expire on September 1st, or you could come up with another option. I will say that my staff has not indicated that we have folks waiting for business licenses for marijuana businesses, but that doesn't mean somebody couldn't come in, tomorrow and make an inquiry about this. So I'm here to answer any questions that you have and would welcome your comments.
So council have a suggestion on, I personally would like to wait till November 5th. I'd like to have more of a vote or more planning commissioners involved in this. I don't think we have a quorum that would, at this point, you just took a consensus, so that's my feeling. But I definitely agree that they probably should go in the code, development code, regulations regarding marijuana pursuant. But that's my take, so I'm not sure how everyone else feels.
I agree.
I'm in agreement as well.
Stephanie, Rob?
Yes,
I agree.
Okay.
Does this need a motion or?
Yes. So I guess, do you need a motion to do that, or just consensus is the right motion?
Well, I'd like to ask a question if I could. Listening to your comments, it sounds like you'd like me to take this back to the Planning Commission when I have a full commission to get their comments. Is that?
Yes.
Would that be accurate?
Yes.
Okay. We will schedule that then for September.
Quorum vote that recommends whatever it may be. At this point, we don't. So if we could get that, and then we're looking at putting it in the development code, I think everyone agrees with that also.
Is November 5th a realistic time frame for
Doing
this
both?
to go back to the planning commission and then come back to us?
Well, September, we could put this on their September meeting agenda, and we've already sent the notice to the LCD, so that's not a problem. You would then see it in October, on October 5th, hopefully with a set of minutes and a full planning commission recommendation on an action. The November 5th notation is because if you do take action on October 5th to modify the code in any way, it would not go into effect until November 5th.
Okay.
So if you were to continue the moratorium, I think it would be safe to say you would want to do it until November 5th, when your possible action would take effect. You could always pull it back if you wanted to before then, but that would really be the time frame that I think we'd be looking at.
Okay.
Thank you.
So someone want to make a motion with those items?
I'll make a motion to extend the marijuana business license until November 5th, 2021. Moratorium, sorry.
Moratorium, and do you want to also suggest or adopt, or do we need a recommendation on the development code?
No, we don't.
No.
Yes, you do. You would want that when it comes back to you on October 5th. What I understood, you want to see a full-on recommendation from the planning commission with as many of the commissioners as possible.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be. So you just need a second?
Okay. So it's been moved to extend the marijuana business license until November 5th, 2021.
Moratorium.
Moratorium. How come I didn't put that in? Okay, moratorium.
Second.
All right. Been moved and seconded. Any of the discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, it passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Thanks, Carolyn. City manager's report.
I'll give you an update on a few projects. Not too long ago, the council approved an expenditure to update our dispatch consoles, which haven't been updated since 2004. That work began this week, and they're fairly confident that that's going to get completed this week. It's quite an undertaking. I believe they're going to start training on Thursday, if I remember correctly, Chief.
That's correct.
You already know that the repairs to the skate park have been completed, and people are using it. Repair to the Mingus Park swimming pool, that may be finished this week. They're planning to start refilling the pool on Thursday, and it'll depend what's going to take to make sure it's swim ready. But that could be as soon as this weekend.
Oh, that's exciting.
Awesome.
The 4th Street project, we expect the signal at 4th and Anderson will be activated by ODOT on Monday. The old signals after that will be removed, and then new concrete slabs would be put in the place where those voids are at currently. There's still a lot of work being done. Some of it's work that it needs to be repaired areas that's not been acceptable to the city. But staff believes, at least we've been told, that the project will be completed by August 31st.
Nice.
Substantial completion. Not as good news on the LED streetlight project. It's still stalled due to supply chain delays. Although right now we're being told that they believe they'll be able to restart the project on the second week of September. And that shouldn't take very long to complete. The Inglewood School project, the project to go in and clean up the old site that was burnt halfway down at least back in 2015. We are currently out for bid for a contractor to do the cleanup. They held a pre-bid meeting today, and bid opening is scheduled for August 31st.
Is that going to be the same as on Front Street where they can't do it in the rainy season now?
No, I believe that one they can do in the rainy season.
Right, the cleanup they can.
And then, it's appropriate you asked about Front Street. So the old building at 891 Front Street, we do have a signed contractor with a contract with a demo contractor. Per our contract, he has 90 days to complete the project, so that should be down by November 4th or earlier. And that concludes my report.
Okay. Council comments. Rob?
So as the council knows, the city of Coos Bay contributes money to the Boys and Girls Club summer program every year. And so I wanted to give you another update on the summer program. The youth center throughout the summer has done summer enrichment programs based on theme weeks. So the last 3 weeks, they had a forensics week where they had the great candy heist. There was a suspected theft of candy in the club, so they spent the week following the evidence to solve the crime. Last week was STEM week, where the highlights of that week were they built some volcanoes and a magnet bridge building. And then this week is music week, and so far they've made handmade maracas and they've had a dance party. Throughout the summer, we also had programs with dance, tennis, and gymnastics, and overall, we've averaged about 200 to 250 kids a day in those programs.
Wow.
Also, tomorrow we have a Coos Bay Library Board meeting, so I wanted to update you on the numbers on that. In July, they checked out over 16,000 items and had almost 4,400 visitors. And then lastly, I want to thank Phil for serving on the council. It's been a pleasure to get to know you and serve with you, and I wish you and your family the best.
Thank you.
And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Stephanie?
A couple of things. I wanted to thank all of our applicants who applied for the council position. It's not always easy to get people to step up and volunteer, and more so, even more today than we have in the past. And we had multiple applicants. They all had, in the interviews, I was impressed. They all had wonderful things to bring to the table. And so I appreciate the effort, and I appreciate that they've been to the meetings and are interested in what's happening in our city. So thank you for that. Also, I want to say how wonderful it is to see Councilor DeNovo in person. And finally, you're going to hear from all of us, Phil. I want to thank you for what you have taught me on this council. I'm going to miss you greatly.
I appreciate that.
And I said I wasn't going to choke up over it, but I love your ability to think outside the box, your research that you do, and all of the things, the communication that you do with the public to make sure that they are represented and to speak with the council. Your wisdom has been tremendous, and I will surely miss you, and I've enjoyed your friendship and your stories, and your community is getting a great person.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Lucinda?
Let's start with Phil. One of the things I appreciated most about you, Phil, is you always let the rest of the council speak. And you reminded me many times of my husband when you would take everything people said and you'd wrap it up succinctly. And to Stephanie's point, you would think outside the box. And we teased you many times with, what would Phil say? Because we always counted on you to look at a challenge or a problem differently. And so I'm going to greatly miss that. I've loved our potlucks. I've loved your presence on this council and your steady voice, and so I will miss you tremendously.
Thank
I
you.
wish you and Renee and your family the best of luck.
Thank you.
And I wanted to thank Yeah, sorry. I wanted to thank the staff and the counselors. As many of you know, my husband, Chief Don Ivy, recently passed, and the kindness that this council and this staff has afforded me during that time, I will never forget it. I am grateful to you all, each and every one of you, and many of the staff members reached out in their way, or I reached out to them. And so I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You will never know just how appreciative I was to know that you were all there for me in my time of need. So thank you.
Thanks, Lucinda. Phil?
Well, it's difficult. Renee told me not to get choked up, so but Lucinda, I truly am sorry for your loss, and thank you for your kind words. I guess as I said earlier, the thing that most impresses me about this entire body of people is that it's such a wide, diverse group of people. Lots and lots of different ideas and thoughts and, pieces from the community, and that's been really inspirational to me to listen to everybody else's point of view and perspective, because sometimes I need to hear a different idea, so you guys are wonderful for this city, and I hope you continue on with what we've started. I think we all agreed when we started this that, we were interested in moving this city forward in lots of ways, but infrastructure was woefully lacking. And I've had those conversations with the mayor and several of you about how we desperately needed to pay more attention to our infrastructure, and I think we've made some huge strides in the last few years about that. And staff, I really appreciate it. To the fire chief, I'm sorry I never did get that class taken.
Oh, man.
There's still time.
But that card you gave me is still sitting on my desk.
It's on mine too, I'm sorry.
I carried mine
I'm
back
sorry.
and forth with me.
I don't know, I hope I'm not pouring salt in wounds with some of the other councilors.
Yeah, okay, as you exit, just throw that out there.
But I think that, and this is for the public to know, I think that the public doesn't understand that the reason I feel why we have such wonderful city staff and leaders in this city is because of our city manager and the choices he's made. And Roger and I have known each other for probably 25 years or longer. And it's rare that we disagree, but sometimes we do. But I will tell you, from when he was a police officer and then the chief and now city manager, I think he's done a fantastic job for this city. And being able to find the people that he's found to hold all of this together, it's just phenomenal to me. So thank you, Roger. And thank you to all the council for the support you've given me over these last few years. It's really been fun. I'm going to miss the potlucks.
Yeah.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, Carmen.
All right, well, I want to join in the chorus of thanking Phil for his perspective and for being a mentor to me. Your service for this community has been exceptional, and I'm going to miss having you by my side here as we go through, into the future and all of our new challenges that we will be facing. I will continually ask myself, what would Phil say? It's been an honor to work with you, and to that merit as well, the rest of you, it's been an honor. It's wonderful to see Lucinda back here. We've missed you very much. And this council works really, really well together. So you're not breaking up the band necessarily, but we're always going to have a spot for you here, a warm spot in our hearts for you. And I'd just like to say thank you for all the volunteerism. And to that note, I also want to thank all the volunteers that have been helping around the community in their own way. The skate park volunteers were mentioned today. There's the 4 applicants who applied to be a part of this council, choosing to dedicate their time to help serve selflessly, to help make this community a better place. And I think right now, a lot of us are feeling the burdens of everyday life in a pandemic. And the people who step up, I really commend them and respect them, and I respect all of you. And I just want to throw that out there as a general reminder. Just be kind to the people who step up, who give their time, who show up every day. I'm kind of pointing towards a lot of service members as well. It's been a tough couple of years for people in frontline jobs, service jobs, volunteers. It's been difficult, and let's just all be kind to each other as best we can. It's been very evident that everybody's struggling in some way, and sometimes we trip up, and we just need to remember to be kind to each other, like Phil would be. I'm also really excited about the pool. That I'm very excited about. And speaking of Mingus Park in the general area, I hear that there's a basketball hoop that's going up this week. I've been requesting it for several months. We'll say months. But it's going next to the skate park, so I'm really looking forward to that. So thank you to the city staff for getting that done. Music on the Bay is happening right now, so remember to go and celebrate the good times with your family and friends and get your wiggles out. I know I'll be down there doing just that. Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Phil, everybody here on the council.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Carmen.
you.
Drew. So, Phil, obviously, like everyone else said, we're going to miss your input and your insight and the research you do, and being able to wait until the end to see what Phil says. But I want to let you know I also did research up to the 11th hour on how we can veto your moving, and it didn't work out.
It didn't work.
So apparently I needed your help there too. Well, Lucinda, we're all going to miss Dawn's inspiration. And I'm sure we all say we're glad to see you back. And if you need anything, all of us are here. I asked to go last because I wanted to talk about mask stuff, so, raise up the mood. For what I do lately, folks may not know, or they may know, I work with folks with disabilities. My agency services people running from Brookings to Lincoln City. And over the past 2 or 3 weeks, I have had more of our clients contract COVID than I have seen throughout the entire pandemic. Leading up to now when masks are being brought back, obviously, as we saw at the commissioners' meeting this morning, there is some opposition to that. Right now, John Hopkins estimates that 1 in 6 folks that get COVID are hospitalized. 1 in 20 go to the ICU. That's where I have an employee right now, under chemical paralysis while they try and keep them alive. And nearly 1 in 50 die. These aren't just to protect ourselves. They also protect others from the things that come out of our mouth. There's a reason doctors and surgeons wear these, because things leave our mouth and contaminate surfaces, and other people get sick. Some folks have argued that the comorbidity rate, the other disorders, are why folks are falling sick, getting ill. It bears in mind CDC says about 23% of Americans have arthritis. Arthritis is considered a comorbidity. If you look at comorbidity statistics, a huge percentage of them, it's going to say, yes, I have arthritis. I don't know how many other people in the room have arthritis. People watching from home, probably many of them have arthritis. We would all count as having comorbidities. That's a kind of skewed statistic, and it does compromise your immune system to an extent. One of the other things that I hear a lot is that from my staff and from people in the community is it's uncomfortable or it's inconvenient or I can't breathe through it. And that's why I brought this with me today. This is a scarf that when you go to Great Lakes, Illinois for Navy boot camp in the winter, they give you this scarf. Still has my initials on it from when I was there. This scarf wraps around your face about twice over, and you can see at that point it's already double thick. Then you wrap it over again, and you got 4 layers. Then you wrap it over again. And what are we at? 2, 4, 6 layers. One pod at Navy boot camp holds about 1,000 people, 1,000 kids. I say kids because their body's not done developing till 25. It can hold up to 1,500 individuals in a push. I remember counting 3 or 4 buildings while I was there. I think there's 6. So that's anywhere from 6,000 upward individuals at any given point during the winter that are wearing 6 layers of fabric over the top of their face, marching around for 2 months straight. They all manage to breathe. They all manage to deal with the discomfort. Now, there are legitimate medical conditions where people can't. One of the commissioners down in Curry County disclosed that he only has 1/3 of this long and 2/3 of this long. Fair enough. But I also have, on a lesser degree, nowhere near as close to that, I have asthma. I have this inhaler. I have not used this any more or any less since I started wearing this mask. So there are some considerations as well to what degree we can tolerate in order to protect those around us. Because there are people suffering. And even those folks who don't die, they will have permanent effect. So I want to encourage folks that are watching that this level of inconvenience or discomfort, any given time in the winter, you've got 4,000 Navy recruits and untold numbers of other recruits going out doing this to protect you. The least we can do is bear a little discomfort and protect those around us. That's what I got.
Thanks, Drew. Well, I'll chime in with about Phil. I said what I did when I gave him the plaque, and again, the thing that comes to mind all the time is, what would Phil say? Now I'll just have to say, what will he think, right? And maybe we might even get a text during the meeting giving his thoughts. We'll see. I've had that happen on others. But anyway, going on, I also want to thank all the applicants for applying for the council, taking the interest, as I mentioned earlier and during the meeting. Volunteerism is what really helps our community. And so thank you all for what you do and how you volunteer. The other thing I want to bring up is I had the opportunity for an interview with Mike Lehman on Eye on the Bay, and we talked, he wanted to talk about the camping ordinance that we adopted. And I was joined by Melissa Cribbins and Mayor Engelke from North Bend, and we had this discussion. And I'm proud that we were able to adopt what we did and be where we are and kind of the lead on this, which North Bend's in the process of going through. And Melissa Cribbins, the commissioner, stated that this is something they're going to be looking at, our ordinance, and hopefully following, because we're one community. So I'm proud of what we've done on that. It's a lot of work the staff put in, the council, and efforts they put in. The other thing, since that's on my mind also, is trash cans. I know I keep bringing it up. Do we have any idea of where we're at on getting new trash cans? Because it's something I see all the time, and I know it's something that's probably not on the top of our list, but since it's part of the homeless issue, just comes up.
Staff, I had a discussion with my staff today about it, and then we're meeting with Roger and other departments later on this week.
Okay.
So we'll have something for you, hopefully in the very near future.
Yeah, I just think there, you know, I mean, I'm not sure, Lucinda, you've been involved in this, but some of the discussion was is that hopefully we could save some manpower on this. They change out the trash can liners every day on all of them, so. And plus they get knocked off, and if there's a way that we can contain it and make it a little bit cleaner, it would be nice. That's my opinion. And hopefully the rest of the council agrees.
Yeah, actually, you know, as part of my vacation, I was taking photos of trash cans.
In Reno?
You
And
come
I
back
shared
with the
them
best
with,
ideas.
All right.
Sounds like a wild time.
Yeah.
Well, very interesting.
So, and the last thing I'm gonna mention is that we got Fourth Street, we'll have Fourth Street done, hopefully, before Phil's time ends. August
That'd be
31st.
awesome. That would be.
All right, there you go.
That would be amazing.
That's the end of my comments, and we have an urban renewal agent meeting to follow, but I'll adjourn this, and Stephanie will be handling the urban renewal. And thank you, everyone, for attending.
Are we good to go ahead and move right into the meeting?
Go ahead.
Yeah?
All right, then I will call the meeting of the Coos Bay Urban Renewal Agency to order. And our first item on the agenda is public comments. We have people moving, but they are not moving towards the microphone. So I will assume we have none. Second item is the consent calendar and the approval of the minutes from August 3rd. And how does the agency wish to proceed?
I make a motion, we approve the consent calendar as presented.
Second.
Oh, all right, we have a motion to approve the consent calendar in a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Our third item is the consideration of approval of an improvement program grant request for 299 Bayshore Drive. And that is right near the boardwalk. Is Carolyn taking that? Carolyn?
Yes, ma'am, I am. This is kind of an exciting project. There's been an improvement grant application submitted to install some awnings at this location on Bayshore Drive East. These things are pretty sharp looking, and I think you're going to be very happy when you see them. The applicant has asked for 50% of the cost of the awnings, and we are recommending that this be authorized. We would suggest that you, in your approval, that you would waive the 3-bid requirement and go ahead and authorize the $5,850.19.
So who did they get the bid from, Carolyn?
I'm sorry, what?
Who was the bid from?
It's attached in the application, which I don't have in front of me.
Because I looked at it, I didn't, maybe I
Sorry.
missed it.
I didn't see it yet.
I didn't see who was the bidder on this.
Okay. Give me just a minute, please.
Phil, did you do your research on this one?
I did not look to see who the bid, who the contractor was.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it.
What?
I don't
Give
see
me
it.
just a
I don't
moment,
see it.
sorry.
Yeah, either.
So are they going to remove the metal awning?
Yeah, that was another question, too.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
So, but the current awning goes further than that building, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes, it does.
So are they doing the whole thing, or are they just cutting into the old one?
Well, it looks like
I need to pull up the application on my computer to look at that, if you could give me just a second.
it looks like that awning is kind of consistent with a portion of the building, but it's different than
I think
the east side is different from the west side.
the awning that they're putting on is similar to the one that's on the Coney station.
Yeah, but just looking at the overview of the building, it looks like it's a consistent awning all the way around the west and south side. But then where this building is, it changes and goes to the east and runs north, but it's a different type. It'll probably be, it'll be a break for sure in the continuity of the the awning system.
Which looks like one building, but
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
With the 37
Well,
feet. Yeah, the
I
37 feet
can
won't
take a
cover-
few minutes and go back and look at the design committee's comments on this, if you'd like me to do that. The other alternative would be to hold off on any action, or maybe take a break, and I could look this up for you.
We could take a break.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's in the packet.
Yeah, I mean, I think it needs to be done and replaced, but the only thing is 37 feet won't cover that whole south side, right? So, I mean, as Carmen stated, it's gonna be a break. Will that look kind of strange? Wouldn't it be better to try to have this property owner do the whole thing and us participate?
So you're saying on the south end, instead of just going a portion of that south end of that building, and running up to the other awning, which really doesn't match right now with the other one, it would be better to be consistent across that entire south side?
I believe so, but, you know, I mean, because they're gonna have to cut this somewhere, I would think. And then there's gonna be this awning that we're facing right here, gonna be a portion of the building further down. So you're gonna have the cloth awning attaching to this metal awning in some fashion, or you're gonna have to put an end cap on the metal awning in some way, I would think.
Yeah, it looks like, at least from the overview photo, that the corner that we're looking at is consistent as it runs north on the east side of the building. But
Yeah, if
yeah,
you-
it looks like, I mean, there's already a seam
Right.
on the south side of the building. But I'm just not sure how it's gonna, it looks like we're gonna add another seam into that building. I'm wondering what the building owner thinks.
And is it the same height, the one that's going on, that's proposed to go on, versus what it's running up to,
Mhm. And I didn't
which
see.
would make it even
So-
more obvious than it is
I also
now?
didn't see a building owner approval on this application.
She did.
She
It's
did
actually the
Yeah,
building owner that's
that's the
applying.
building owner that
So-
submitted it.
Am
Oh,
I
the building owner's
understanding?
applying for it?
So is this gonna just be this 37 feet here that's on the south end? It's not gonna be on the Bay Shore side? Is that what we're seeing?
I believe it's on both the Curtis and the Bay Shore side.
Okay, so if it went, but it's not gonna go all the way down the whole length of Bay
I
Shore?
think it's just the
Smoke shop.
smoke shop.
I don't know, I mean, if we can get the building owner to participate and do the whole thing, because there's a break here, it's a different awning, a metal awning, which is fine, so you can attach it on the Curtis side, and then if you could do all the way down Bay Shore, I think it'd be a better fit, and it'd be nice to participate in that thing, if they're willing.
Well, the building
So are
owner-
you suggesting the entire south side or just the Bay Shore side?
Well,
side?
Curtis and Bay Shore. That's what I'm suggesting.
So the
Because what's
whole
gonna-
Curtis and the whole Bay
Yeah,
Shore?
because it's gonna happen, is you're gonna have a break on this awning on the Bay Shore side.
We're gonna have yeah, we already have a break on the south side of the building, but we're gonna add a third break, or a second break, I guess.
Correct. On the Bay Shore side. Anyway,
So I think from perspective,
I don't know
that
how everyone
makes
else
more
feels.
sense than what we have in front of us. How does,
well, and I support the project, I mean, I
Yeah.
definitely do. I just would say, can we enhance, I mean, these are these times that maybe we, as an agency, can make a difference for that whole Bay Shore side and the building itself. But anyway, that's my take.
Carolyn, were you able to find the information you've requested?
No, I was not. I'm thinking what you could do is maybe authorize this with the caveat that the authorization would not become effective until we were able to provide you with the answers to these questions. It sounds like you're very interested in having this done. You just want to have a better look at what it's going to be like. So we failed to get that information into the packet, and I think to try to send it to you, describe it to you, would not be really very effective. So that might be an option for you to consider, and we could come back to you next week with that.
Actually, I think you'd be better off to table the issue and bring it back at the next Urban Renewal Agency meeting. Give us the opportunity to get you that information, but also I'm sensing that you would like us to approach the applicant to to see what it would take for her to do that entire side on Curtis and to continue it down onto Bay Shore.
Does she own that entire building?
She does.
Yeah, I just checked it out.
Okay.
So is that, is everyone okay with that?
Do we need to have a motion, Roger, or?
No.
I mean,
If you take no action, I don't think you need to do that. We can take direction as far as bringing it back.
Okay, thank you.
So that owner is Ralph Larson Family Trust. And
Correct.
she's the trustee.
Correct. Anna Marie.
But there's 6 businesses, and according to the plat map, that building is 130 feet long,
On the backside?
both sides,
Yeah, but I mean, we're just talking the backside.
Broadway and Bay Shore. or
So is
Front
Bay
Street.
Shore 130 feet?
From Curtis goes north 134 feet.
Yeah, it's
So-
more, doesn't it go up to the
Goes up
building
to the,
south of Restaurant O?
Yes.
But it's 6 different addresses, so, you know, if they'd be interested in doing the whole building, that might make it a little more palatable to the agency. I don't know.
Well, no, and that's what I'm saying, but, I mean, if she's interested, I think, and if the agency's willing to participate 50% or whatever, I don't know what it would take for her to do that Bay Shore site in Curtis, it would be a better look instead of cutting it up. So, but anyway, that's my opinion, but I'm not sure how she feels, the owner,
yeah.
if she's
It-
willing to
it
do
is-
it either,
It
there's
is
a lot.
possible that she is looking to highlight the business addresses that are in there. If you look at the Coney Station building, for example, that does not go all the way down, that meets up with,
Right.
but I don't know if it's all the same building.
I don't believe
So-
it is, yeah.
Well, and maybe
But
just,
it could be-
Roger can ask.
yeah, and
to
maybe,
ask that question.
I don't know, do we need to do all of Curtis, or maybe just where the 2 different awnings are, and then go all the way down Bay Shore? I don't know, but anyway, I guess it's a discussion.
We can.
We'll go back to the design assistant team comments as well, and we'll come back to you at your next regularly scheduled meeting with the answers to these questions.
I would also like to see the bid, too.
Yeah, I'd like to know who's doing it.
Certainly.
Yes.
Okay,
I think we have direction.
you have direction.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Carolyn.
All right, then, that is the last agenda item that we have. I can't get this thing going. And so if there's no further business to come before the agency, I will adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thanks. So how many feet is this 11,000 cover?